Hey, good morning. Sure everybody knows what's going on. It's impressive in different ways. So the dollar is down right there on the 50 MA. Pivot low right there. Markets consolidation started around the time this topped out. Dollar has reached its destination where buyers should want to step up, and this is supposed to make a line there for me. And right in there, let's call it here. So whether it hits the 50 or comes down a little bit. Anyway, I'm just putting where it is. Give me a second here. All right. So question is, does it break down through it? I mean, after coming from the top of the range down to the top of from the top to the bottom, I would think buyers are going to be there, and that should, my line's working here, do some damage to tech that's already damaged badly. So it could put fuel on the gas. So we'll keep an eye on that. Look at this. I mean, I was impressed the market shrugged this off. It's like, who gives a damn, right? That this is going up to 4% and knocking on the door to get above it, which is more in line. Okay, there's all this talk. One of the Fed's chairs said, "Oh, maybe we're going to wait." And I'm not saying they didn't say that. What I'm saying is the markets are saying, "Go ahead, I dare you," in a sense. That they continue to push this up, especially if it pushes up through 4%. So we'll see if that happens. The 10-year, pulling back. It's in an uptrend. This is where buyers should be. We should see interest rates begin to stabilize and begin to flip back up again. Right? You look at this like any other chart. There should be. Well, you're waiting, right? It's pulling back. It's pulling back. Is it going to stop here? Is it going to stop at the 20? Is it going to stop at major support, which is still pretty far away, the pivot low, but it's in this area, and sometimes it's on the 20 where you would think, okay, be a buyer down there. So as it comes down, you start to look for a turn on your smaller time frames, and we don't have that yet. Right? We don't have that, so maybe it breaks down, goes lower toward the 20, set an alert at the 20 if you're interested, and take a peek there, see what it does. All right. Yesterday, things were going up into resistance, up into the kill zone, the danger zone. Let's call it a zone for buyers to show me what you got. And different degrees to that, depending on where we look. S&Ps came up to the declining 50, which is a line that we put there. It's subjective. If we change it to exponential, it'd probably be below there and be like, woohoo, it's above the 50. And you put the simple on there and like, oh my God, it's still below the 50. It's not that bullish. It's like, hey, McFly, it's not about the moving average. It's what's to the left. And what's to the left over there, is a little area. It's a little area. Why is this doing that to me? All right, it's that little area right there, which is lined up with, this little area. So maybe sometimes they get to the top of it. 3,900 could have been the target level, but it couldn't hit it yesterday. And now we're going to see how this holds up today in the face of what's going on in the NASDAQ, right? With this gap down, which so far is holding support. And you know what, Dan? Here is a chart for today's MT Live. That's a shakeout. Now, we don't know if it's going to go down, but that's a chart for a shakeout pattern. It's like, woohoo, this looks fantastic. Buy. Crunch, crash. And now does it complete the right side? And down it goes. Now, the different stocks that, got killed yesterday, you would think it's got to. What's going to hold it up? Microsoft down 3 days, 3 bars, 3 big bars getting negated. That is big. Amazon down here, 3 bars down at the bottom of the wide range bar. Texas Instruments down below 3 bars. I mean, I might happen, but I just can't remember an instance where you had so many, let's call them market generals, institutional favorites hit so badly. Like Nvidia didn't report, but it's holding up relatively well. But how could it do? Could it survive? Meta, down below the wide range bar. Google, down below the 3 bars. I'm just curious. Tesla, which was doing fantastic. TSLA, making the turn, and not so bad, right? So where does that leave us with SPX? Spiders, not so bad. It's the kind of gap down you would expect when prices run up into a prior pivot and a declining moving average lined up with it, which really not that big of a deal, which would lead to, hey, this could be a consolidation day. So one of the keys here, I guess, that's going to hold the market is Apple. When it's going to come up, it's going to be reporting. It's in everything, and does that continue to show some weakness? Do the institutions start selling that because of the others? And that's not gapping down badly, but right, there has to be a concern that is going to be as bad. And then what'll save the day? I don't know. I mean, you got some financials holding up here. That's still holding up. It's at resistance. So I think my assumption is, the market is not going to go up much from here as institutions wait for some additional earnings reports and see if the market could gimp around a little bit with half of its leg chopped off, or what could do better. KVE, that's not doing anything here, but more financials coming out, regionals. So yeah, look, the markets took a blow last night. Right? Their go-to stocks have been decimated pretty much in the short term, and we'll see if they love them at these levels and whether they look to pick them up. The 3-month is still going up. The others are coming into buy areas. The dollar's coming down to where, if you think you want to buy the dollar or short the euro, that's coming up soon, and that's what's been affecting the markets in a bearish way. Bitcoin, that was like a surprise. It's at the top of the range. So what is that going to hold on to that, or what? So lots of things to observe, I would say, to see what holds up and what doesn't in the short term. And for SPX today, I've got written down 3910, which is above the 3900. I think with the others weakened, unless financials are going to be ripping and oils are ripping, I don't think that's getting up there. It's not that far away, but there's juice in 15 now. Okay. Wherever there's sufficient juice, far enough away. I don't know about new leadership in tech. I mean, they all participated to varying degrees where they had their shot. And now It's like, McFly, there's a bear market. You had a nice few days. I hope you took some money. I hope you sold some covered calls. I hope you bought some puts, McFly, because now you're standing there with your pants down. Yesterday I said, isn't this kind of weird that this isn't going up? Now the breadth improved yesterday, right? We talked about the fact that it wasn't, and then yesterday we had this wider bar, and it did here, so that got to a bearish extreme, but sentiment didn't. And the daily sentiment is like, here, the markets are ripping for 3 days, right? This one went down. The equities came down a bit. This is total, and typically, right, like this, right? They're like, okay, they're buying call options. Use that leverage instrument, make the big bucks, and they didn't do that for the most part, and so there's still this. Okay, the market's going to go up here for some. Oh, the Fed guy said something. Things are, oh, buy. Let's see how far it'll go. And now they're disappointed with that. And they're sitting there, like, who's getting yelled at tonight? Who's losing their job? Remember that scene from Wall Street where the big guy saying to Charlie, somebody's got to pay. It ain't going to be me. Somebody's hearing that today. Yeah, you thought it was going to do whatever. Okay, somebody's got to pay. All right. So on the downside, I wrote 37, 45, 40, which seems it ain't that far away, but I think, look, either one of these is within striking distance. It just seems like the upside is less probable since the NASDAQ is hurt so bad. A lot of call volume at 395s. Buyers. What about put? Mine was zeroed out. What about puts? What's selling a bullish put spread on the Qs? $395. That's like looking for a lottery ticket. I think that's an idiot. After 3 days up, but we should check out Qs when it gaps down and see something's out of the money for November 4th. I'll look. Mine are all zeroed out right now. OMC trade. All right. Just quickly, silver, gold, nothing. So I think markets are probably a little stunned, waiting to see what comes next. So would you review SPY chart? I was just looking. So SPY chart, up at resistance area. See the overlapping opens and close there? That was like an initial target. And if things were good, like they came out with good earnings report and things were positive, well, we could have looked up, maybe to 400. I mean, 390 is a level, of course, around numbers. But I mean, if they were good, just like all of those stocks, we see them, getting destroyed. Getting destroyed. I mean, if that was being flipped up like that, I think the S&Ps, if all these were doing well, I mean, for sure, the Qs would have been, skyrocketing through the 50 MA, and probably the S&Ps would have been gone higher. So now you got to look to financials and oils to see if they're going to hold things together. And, we will see shortly. All yours, Dan. I don't hear Dan.
All right. Yeah, no, I didn't hear the handoff. All right, I'm here. Good morning. So yeah, yesterday we totally had the mindset to be selling a gap up today. That's obviously not happening. We know that's massive earnings season here. We played a couple earnings stocks. We'll go through them all as always. I mean, Greg, you mentioned the put on the cues. I'd rather this. Well, I don't know. We'll play it by ear. But IWM holding up the best. Look at this thing's green. That's the best pattern. Raul asking about CFR. So there's a ton of earnings here. CFR, I can't tell where it's gapping. Stabilized at the 20. It's fine. It's a long watch, but I'm not going to be rushing into anything here at all. All right, let's look at a couple earnings trades first that we're in, and then we'll look at new opportunity. Teradyne, we did a 70-60 put spread. That looks great. CSGP, I can't tell where it's gapping, but we did a 65 way the heck down here. FFIV, we did 138, I think. So this one's against us. We're still $5 away though. So I'll be curious to see what the premiums are at the open. We did Garmin put spread. I did a make it. I see one print up here at 86.30. Otis, we actually did a directional one. I can't see where it's gapping, but nice bottoming pattern. SSD, nice bottoming pattern. I don't believe there's no prints on these. So that, I mean, that's what I'm going to be focused on at the open, these earnings trades that we're already in. I don't have a single alarm going off of any of our other bullish positions. So that's an amazing sign that the things we're in are not getting damaged. I was in trail mode yesterday, as opposed to, this was the only long we gave yesterday to our subscribers. This is it, cut. Because that's a new independent wide range breakout. Whereas, you know, it just makes no sense to buy things 3 bars up. Oh, finally, Hilton. We did a condor on this. And it looks like this is going to be a home run. You know, when you sell condors, it's a range bound. And the closer it opens up to the closing price, we're going to get amazing volatility contraction. So we sold a $10 wide for $1.70. That is really, really good juice. All right, let me continue now on this. This is a pew. I love bottoming patterns like this that have gap reversals, you know, 20 MA flattening out price void. The problem is that gap too much already, so no interest. 10V bottoming pattern. I see one little print up there. We'll come back. MXL. We can find better. IEX, sloppy as can be, but put spread idea. Charlie, nothing. AXTA, I can't tell where you're gapping, but it's kind of a 1, 2, 3. 30-minute high looks good. Charlie Bravo, no pattern. AMP. No, that's not it. This is AMP. Put spread idea, top of the range. Come back to you, AGR. Beautiful double bottom. Again, I can't see where it's gapping. Oh, let's look at these monster stocks first. All right, so Greg already did, but yeah, that's a nasty gap. And those 3 bars, that's for sure. I actually, I didn't give it to you all, but I sold a 94 put on Google myself. And you know, I still am thinking it's going to be a profit at the open. I'll tell you. I tell everybody my trades, good, bad, or scratch. Bravo Golf. That's a nice gap breakout. I like that. I'm going to put Bravo Golf down in the bottom right. Boyd. Up 3 bars. White House, extended snow. This is a call spread idea. It's a bearish gap under 170. So, you know, my option sellers, I'm telling you the ones I like the most. So that's an idea. I posted EMPH as a solar stock. Nice, beautiful double bottom here. We were trying to sell puts on this and I did not get filled because it was spready. I was trying under the 200 here. But look at TAN, look at the sector. This is a double bottom new low plus. This looks fantastic. So if somebody wants to help me, look for trades there. Here's 2 of them. I just saw going by the ticker. JKS is a Clino run. Runs a little better turn down here, 4-bar turn. Nice basing here pre-market. Well, Thane, I didn't do a thing, so I'm glad to hear that. STX was a beautiful bottoming pattern. And see that this is, you know, I don't remember this one. I didn't sell puts on this, but I would have looked. I definitely would have put it through my checklist. And that's you're gonna pay dividends one day when you sell options into earnings. It's just a fact, Jack. Do you remember that movie Stripes? It's a fact. It's a fact. And you know, the amount of dividends you pay is going to depend on how far it's gapping against you. But the majority of the time, the negative gap, we still manage to get out, you know, small profit. SKX getting whacked. Wow. All right, so these couple right here were the ones that I gave to subscribers. That's why I have them right there. All right, so we know Microsoft, we know Google, Visa. Visa gapping up. You know, it's up 3 bars, but put spread idea strong. Texan. Yeah, David, I said call spread idea for that. Texan call spread idea for this, possibly Condor for Friday. You know, something down here and something up there. Charlie Bravo, we looked at CNI, Railroad. That ain't bad. Put spread idea. I think I looked yesterday. Wow, I saw CMG up $100 last night. Well, $100 on a $1,600 stock is not as much. But now it's spready and there's no pattern, so I'm going to delete you. ENPH, we have talked about. CSGP, this is one of our earnings stocks. AMP, I mentioned. Put spread idea. EQR, this one I did look for a put and it was insufficient premium, but another bottoming pattern there. I can't tell where it's opening. We'll come back. Another bottoming pattern. I don't like overlapping bars like this myself, but put spread under the lows is fine. Spot 91 and change. I don't know. I'll tell you at 10 a.m. I don't know what that's going to do. It's possibly a condor on that one, David. IEX. I'm more of a put spread if it over yesterday's high. AGR bottoming pattern. Teradyne we talked about. BXP Boston Properties. A small gap down here, but not much volume. Put spread idea over yesterday's high. Juniper. Not too extended. No interest. FFIV, we know that's going to be my only problem child of the day, of the morning. I have WBA alarm going off. So look at our WBA. We're long calls on this and relative strength in a weak market. I'm going to tighten stops here. Let me do it right now. 35.24. Give me a second. Greg, we made 50% return on our capital already in 2 days, long calls. That's the beauty of buying options. Leverage and limited risk.
There's probably people that would be interested to know that, Dan.
How do you tell them? I don't know how.
We have this great assistant that if you send her some stuff, she'll deal with it.
Oh, okay, I never thought of that. All right. Excuse me, folks. I guess our subscribers get first priority. NUE up alarm. Look at that. This was the trade review of the week, folks. That went out this morning. It was this trade we are still in. A bear gap at bullies, price void, 1, 2, 3, bullish close, and it's gapping up. It's a beautiful setup. Tomo gapping down, sell setup. I'm going to delete you on BMY. It's flopping around. We'll come back. ADP. This one I loved the pattern yesterday, but it was either spready or insufficient juice. A gap in a 245. The gap's too well. Let's watch it. It has room to 255. Room to 255. So let's watch it on a pullback. All right, I gotta watch my earnings stocks here. All right, Teradyne open, now down a little bit. It gave up the gap, but that's okay. MRO up alarm. We're still long that. Morgan Stanley up alarm. Look at all these up alarms we have and market gap down.
Look at this. Might be a good call spread, or maybe even a short for gapping up into resistance after several days up. I didn't check volume. I didn't check anything. Chef, CHEF, food distribution. Earnings are today. I guess they just were reported. Maybe get a vol crush in it or something.
Wow, yeah, that's a big gap. All right, Google. I can type. All right, that's an ugly gap, that's for sure.
X gapped up out of a consolidation. Maybe could be a go in 10 minutes.
I killed. Yeah. Beautiful setup there. Oh, our Garmin here is up. I can see in the middle window. Our FFIV though is hurting. All right. I knew that was not a good place. I just thought 138s were so far away. So we'll just let it bounce around here for a little bit, but it looks bad. Coin up alarm. Wow.
Yeah, Bitcoin had a great day.
Garmin, I was bidding in pre-market and I got filled. All right, we had $75 puts. All right, yeah, so the naked 70